says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees." That's when you start to hit for the exit. That's when you got to use the bathroom. As soon as you hear the preacher start saying, "Woe unto you." Well, look at the time. I did have another appointment there, Pastor. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. Doesn't spare any punches. Not with this crowd. Not with this crowd. He would pour grace upon grace and mercy upon mercy upon those who the religious elite wanted him to condemn and judge. And everybody else that everybody had given up on, those are the ones he finds himself wrapping his arms around. But this crowd, this crowd hits a button. This crowd can't be tolerated now. Hypocrites! You pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law: judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought you to have done, and not to leave the other undone. You blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Another version would read it like, you strain your water in case there's a gnat, but then you end up swallowing a camel anyway. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! And he just kept bringing it here. For you are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward. Really what he's saying, you're a phony. You're a phony. You got everybody else out here fooled, but not Jesus, because he sees through all of that. And he's not looking at the outside. Man looks on the outside, but God looks on the heart. Which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy, iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Because you build the tombs of the prophets, and you garnish the sepulchres of the righteous. They hold these things up, and they're like shrines. They lift up the prophets and praise the prophets. And as they do that, they put themselves in the same category, considering themselves joined together with the prophets. But Jesus knows something they don't. And you say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been to our partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that you are the children of them which killed the prophets. Amen. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, you serpents, you generations of vipers. How can you escape the damnation of hell? And there's more in that chapter. That's just some of it. He's saying you think yourself right in the same place as all the prophets. And you read over the scriptures and you think, well, if I had been there, I would have stood up with Jeremiah and I wouldn't have been one of those ones that were down there living in that place of iniquity. And Jesus is saying, you don't even realize you would have been down there. Well, you would have been the worst one amongst them all. You would have been the one trying to kill the prophet. That's right. You see, we read the stories in the Bible and we always put ourselves on the positive side. Amen? Come on. I don't read too many stories in the Bible where I think, I'm kind of just really encouraged in relating to the hypocrite here. That's right. I don't hear too many people jump up and get excited and say, hey, when you're reading that about hypocrites, that's really hitting me, preacher. But I got to tell you, sometimes the shoe fits. Religion is a revival killer. God is a God of the living and not of the dead. He's not interested in playing church, playing games, all the little things that the enemy throws into the midst of our playground, if I could use that term, or into the midst of our assemblies that we all run to, that get us squabbling with one another, that get us living the soap opera life instead of our assignment for the Lord. Amen. Instead of preaching the gospel. If we had 10 people, my God, if we had 5 people that would just get full of the Holy Ghost and fire, and say, I don't care what anybody else is doing. I'm going to love God. I'm going to worship God. I'm going to love people. I'm going to serve Him. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to keep my eyes on Him. But we all know it's not that easy. Because all of us sometimes get distracted. And all of us sometimes get caught up in the things that cause us to get our eyes on the problem instead of the problem solver. Get caught up in everything that's wrong instead of working to help to make things right. I remember the words of Reinhard Bonnke. I might have said this before here, but I'll say it again. Don't get caught up looking on everything of what God's not doing. Look at what God is doing. Look at what God is doing. You can get all discouraged and burn out and say, well, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? But if you would look around, you're going to find pretty quick God's doing a whole lot of things. Yes. Amen? Yes. God's doing a whole lot of things. Yeah. And maybe somebody quit, but somebody else has got back in now. Amen. And maybe somebody else has a bad attitude, but God just set somebody free at the altar. The Spirit of God just moved and manifested in an awesome way. We got to learn to look beyond the gnats. Stop looking for the little things, the little issues, the things while we keep on swallowing camels. Amen. If we can see the bigger picture here, church, and realize that we are the bride of Christ, and He is coming back for His people. We should be getting ready for our wedding day. Glory to God. Hallelujah. God set us free from every religious spirit. Break off of us every religious chain. Hallelujah. Make your house a house of prayer again. Remember, we are the temples of the Holy Ghost. I'm going to ask my brother Brandon to come back to the instruments here tonight. We are the temples of the Holy Ghost. And so don't get your eyes, I can't find my glasses. I don't look smart anymore. We are the temples of the Holy Ghost. And revival starts in you, and revival starts in me. Someone once said that revival is not souls coming to the church. The revival comes to the church. And souls come as a result of the fire that is beginning to burn in the house of God. Hallelujah. Because the waters of God are flowing out from the house. People want a taste of those rivers. People want a taste of that joy. People want a taste of that peace that passes understanding. Somebody wants to find out what this forgiveness of sin stuff is all about. What it's like to know that you were once lost, but now that you're found. What it's like to feel that cleansing touch of the blood of Jesus. And to know that you were on your way bound to a devil's hell and nobody could have helped you. But Jesus stood in the gap for you and he pulled you out of the fire. Hallelujah. We got to contend with these things, church. Stay the course of revival. Stay the course of love and victory. Don't allow ourselves to be torn apart. Seeds of strife and cords of division. Hallelujah. The body of Christ. And Jesus prayed himself on more than one occasion that we would be one. That we would be one. Even as he and the Father were one. And so I know sometimes revival looks like people being slain out, people running in circles around the building. Oh, I love it. Hallelujah. I love it. But sometimes revival looks like this. Brother, forgive me. I'm sorry for what I did to you. I never should have said that. I just want you to know that I love you. If you just forgive me, I just want to move on in this thing. Sometimes that's revival. Sometimes that's revival. Sometimes revival is not about who's shouting the loudest, but maybe just who's hearing the deepest. Who's hearing the deepest. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I feel the Spirit of God manifested right now. Sometimes revival looks like, brother, we've had our differences, but you're part of this body just like I'm part of this body. Let's get a move on with things here. Let's get back in the flow. Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's let the past be the past. Let's move forward here. Man, what would it be if we just love one another? If we just love one another. And that's what Jesus said. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength. So the second commandment is like it. Love your neighbor, even as yourself. And on this hangs the law and the prophets. And if you'll just do that, now I want to see that become our slogan. Love God, love people. Love God. That's what we're called to do. That's what this is all about. Love God. Love people. Some of you know I literally hobbled my way into town when I moved here 2 months ago. Hurt my knee. Injured it along the way. Going to Mike Whitford's basement was not what I had envisioned as my arrival in Brockton. For those of you who don't know, Mike works with muscles and people that have issues of that nature. And even though it wasn't how I envisioned it, I came hobbling into town. Pastor's here! Let's have a revival, church! Hey, Mike, can you help me walk again? There's a picture of the body of Christ doing what the body's supposed to do. You're having a hard time walking, are you? Come on. help you out. I'll get with you. Come on, we'll have a three-legged race if we got to, bro, but don't give up. Keep on running. Amen. I know it's hard to have a three-legged race. How many ever tried? It's hard.